Importing a file using Get and Transform. So we've got a blank workbook here, and this is a text file. So we're on go to the ribbon under Data, Get and Transform group here on the left. From text is a text file. Okay, it's Power Query Practice 2. I've already downloaded that earlier. Take just a minute to open up. Okay, it's tab delimited. Recognize that. We can tell that's appropriate based on how it's divided things out. So transform data. The data does have some problems we're going to correct here, try to correct. First of all, customer, we want to actually have last name, first name in two separate columns. So we'll do split column. We can either see that on the ribbon or right click. There's also a split column here. We'll do it by delimiter. And look at the data. There's a comma space between the two, so we'll actually make a change here, do a custom, and comma space. All right, no double quotes around that, as we would do like with text split. Okay, all right, so that looks good. We'll just rename. I'll just double click. This is the last name. Hit enter. Double click on that label. This is first name. All right, hit enter. Okay, the city, there is actually a space on the front end of that. You can kind of tell by looking at it. It's not so, you can't really tell by clicking in there, but just by looking how it is there. There's a space. So there's a trim function that we can use. So I'll right click and transform, and the transforming options depend on what type of data it's recognized as. So this is showing ABC, which is text. So it's showing us some things we can do with text columns. So trim works just like the trim function does within Excel. All right, it's going to remove any extra spaces as regular spaces. All right, so trim, we can see there it's got rid of that. State, notice we've got a character there we want to get rid of, the hashtag or pound symbol. So we'll right click there, and let's see, we should have replace values, and this is also on the ribbon. So replace values. And we're going to find that hashtag and replace it with nothing, And it's just for that column. Okay, so that's fine. Phone is okay. When you get rid of this column is just blank. So again, right click and we can remove it, or you can go up here and remove columns. So we'll remove it here. So our date column's got some issues. So let's first get rid of the pound symbol. Notice it's recognized as text. So we can try to change it to a date first, but I doubt if that'll work. So each way to change the date is simply click on that ABC, which means again text. If I do date, it creates errors. So I didn't think that would work. So we need to undo that. Just come over here to the right and click the little X. Okay, so we'll first get rid of that pound symbol. So again, right click. We're going to remove values. And again, that pound symbol. And we're going to replace it with nothing. So that should be, we're going to make this end of month dates like December 31st of 2023, January 31st of 2024, etc. So we can try the date again, but I think it will not work appropriately, but let's check and see. Yeah, so it imagines all those are 2024 dates, and that 23 is treating as the day of the week, day of the month. So let's undo that. Okay, so we need to make this look like a date that Excel will, or Get into Power Query will correctly interpret. So I'll do find and replace. So right click, replace values, and we're going to look for that dash in between the month and year and replace it with a dash and say the first day of the month, or we can choose the 5th day of the month or whatever. I'll just do a 5 just for variety there. And a 20. Let's go change that to December the 5th dash 2023. And make similar, all the way down. Okay. And of course, that's based on the pattern we see here. So, okay. And so we're still, obviously, haven't changed the type yet. Let's see if the type works. Change it to date. Yes, and that does work appropriately. Okay, it does work appropriately. Now I want this to be an end of month date, so I'll right click, and since this is showing as a date, transform will adjust accordingly, and we want it to be the end of the month. End of the month. All right. Okay, unit price. Next door looks like it's got some problems. Let's see what we got here. We'll try to do make it decimal place. And again, we get error, so I'll just undo that. So it appears to be a space kind of randomly inserted here. So we'll see if we can get rid of, now trim's not going to work on this. We'll try trim, but trim will get rid of extra spaces, front end, back end, and if there's one space or two spaces in between or three, it'll reduce it just to one. So we'll try trim, but I don't think it'll work. So transform, trim. No, doesn't really get rid of anything. So we'll just undo that. And instead we'll do the replace again. So right click, replace values. Okay, we're going to look for a regular space. Let's use a space bar there, and I'm not going to type anything under replace with. I did do the space bar here under value defined. Click OK. All right, looks like that got rid of those things. Now we'll try to make it 1.2, that is decimal number. All right, that looks good. Quantity looks okay. It's already 1, 2, 3, a whole number. And let's see, the next thing we want to do is calculate the total of the cell. So we're going to introduce a new column. So go to Add Column on the ribbon. And we'll do a custom column over here on the left. And let's call it Revenue. And that's going to be equal to the unit price times the quantity. So go down here into the formula box. And let's see, we got unit price, insert, asterisk for multiply. Select quantity, insert, and OK. All right, and we need to change this. Currently it's recognized as either text or number. We're going to change it to decimal number. I think we're good here. All right, so we'll close and load to, and go to, on the ribbon, go to File, Close and Load to. We want to leave it at table. I do want to put it in the existing worksheet based on the instructions in cell B8. So we can just select that, B8, B8, all right, OK. And there is our data, 352 rows loaded. Again, if we hover over this, we can edit. If for some reason, this isn't showing over here on the right, so let's imagine that's not there. Notice if we're within the resulting values, I can go up on the ribbon and go to Query and Edit. In fact, one thing I forgot to do is change the name of the table. So notice the name of the table is Power Query something or another. Let's go to the table design here. Okay, so I can change the name here, but better to do it within the Power Query. So I'll go into Edit. So go to Query, Edit. Okay, and again, this is where I could actually make changes or additional, back up or make different changes. Here I want to change this, make sure resulting table is called TBRev automatically. So I'll go over here on the right where it says Properties Name and type in TBRev. TBRev, hit Enter. Okay, and then go to File, Close and Load. like it reloaded. And we'll check and see here. Yes, TV Rev now. Query and connections to open back up that task pane over here.